What's going on, y'all? Welcome to my channel. I'm Real King, and this is it, y'all. All right. Okay, guys. So I have a great video for y'all today. So I'm just gonna get right into it. So I woke up this morning with some really good news, and there's a phone call that I got, and it was before that it was actually before I had scheduled myself to wake up, and the weather was kind of messed up. It was raining. We had some thundering going on this morning, and so I was really not going to be going out right away. And so my plan was to go somewhere, to be somewhere by like I was going to leave like around I think 8 o'clock, but the weather was kind of messed up, and so that really kind of caused me to really kind of chill for a bit. So before I could even do anything, I got this phone call, and it was basically it was something that I was trying to take care of yesterday, and I had gotten some information, and it was for some benefits that I was trying to do or trying to get, and so turns out that because from yesterday I was told that I wasn't going to be able to get any benefits until like I had to wait to an orientation appointment towards the end of this month, and then I would be able to get them. So even though that didn't seem right, it wasn't right. So this morning at like 7:10, I get this phone call, and it was basically letting me know that I actually do get my benefits a lot sooner. So that started my morning off really good. Now, I didn't really expect anything better to go on. I did have an appointment for this job though, that I got late yesterday. So, or I got notified about late yesterday. So, and it seemed like it was going to be a good job. I didn't know how close it was. But anyways, it was in an area that I knew of. So I went to that interview today. Well, actually, I was able to, even though I kind of had a late start, but after the rain had subsided, I went ahead and headed out because I was trying to make sure that I got at least 2 of my 3 appointments. Well, I wasn't going to be able to do 1 appointment, but at least I had 2 of them that I needed to do. So I was able to get both of them. So I was done with 1 appointment, and then I headed to my next appointment, which was just a job interview. Now, the description for this job was actually different than what they would explain to me in person. So I go there, and excuse me, it seemed a little intimidating at first because what kind of place it was and the people that were interviewing me. I was actually being interviewed by 2 people at the same time, so that was kind of different. And then it was what they were talking about, that what they needed was actually something that I didn't even feel confident that I could do. And as they're explaining more about what they're looking for, talking about the schedule and everything, it really started seeming out of reach for me. But I went along with it, I just kind of, tried to do my best. And I honestly just wasn't real confident about it. So I left that and I headed, back to my area. Called my auntie on the phone. I was kind of, talking to her about how everything, was going and stuff like that. And so I'm only focusing on that job. And I let her know that, look, I said I'm not even worried about it. I said I've already, have some other jobs I've been, applying for that have been, blowing my phone up, the past day and a half that I need to respond to and stuff like that. And I'm just like, look, if it's meant for me to get this job, then I'll get it. So I wasn't thinking about nothing else at that time. This was around 2 o'clock. My appointment was at 1, and so it was right a little after 2 when I was talking to my auntie. I think that the interview lasted for at least 45 minutes. So now I'm heading back, towards my home and stuff like that. Me and my auntie's talking on the phone, pretty much all this time. Then I get over to MLK, and Belfort, and I decided to go to Jack in the Crack and get me some thing to eat. And I just got some like small stuff. I mean, they actually still have a value menu, which is pretty cool. So I got like, 3 items. I got like a burger, what is it, a junior jack with cheese, and a junior chicken sandwich, and the 2 tacos. Got that, sat down, ate that, dipped. And then I knew I needed to go to Walmart to grab a pump for my bike. And so I went all the way to Walmart as my last place I needed to go. So I go to Walmart. I got the pump for the bike, and I'm leaving. And I am walking from Walmart to the bus stop to head home. And I get almost to the bus stop, y'all. Felt my phone vibrate, and it was ringing. I don't normally answer my phone if it's a number that I don't know, but I know that I've been applying for jobs, and so I figured, let me go ahead and answer this call. Now it was a Houston number, so answered the call. It was kind of noisy outside because I was by the main road, and I'm answered the call, and it turns out it was a job that I had applied for a few weeks ago. I think I made a video about that one, but it was a really good job that I had went to an interview, one of my first interviews, and I hadn't heard back from them in a while. So I had been checking back, frequently to kind of find out, what's going on. And the recruiter was out of the office; she was on PTO, and but she told me last week that the guy was still doing interviews, and that the beginning of this week he will, I guess they will know what, who they wanted to pick. Well, they said at the beginning of the week. Now this is Wednesday, so I'm figuring, and I talked to my auntie. I was like, I hadn't heard back from anybody. I'm like, she said the beginning of the week, which would be like Monday, Tuesday would be like the latest. So I'm like, if I don't hear from him by Wednesday, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just not gonna worry about it, So I left it alone. I didn't hear from him Monday, didn't hear from him yesterday. So that was them today. And so the lady was like, she was very apologetic, really nice. She was like, you have a few minutes to talk? I was like, yeah. She said, I know I haven't been in the office. I've been on, out, all this and that. She was, really, really nice. And she's like, basically asking me, hey, we really liked your interview and everything like that. And she was like, I talked to, the manager. She was like, and he really liked your interview. He really liked you, and what you what you can do is what we need and what we're looking for. And she's just building up to it. She was like, she was like, well, I just wanted to make sure, I want to call you and see if you were still interested in the position, because we'd like to offer you a job. I was like, what? It was crazy, y'all. And I'm just like, inside, I'm like celebrating. And I'm just like, yeah, definitely. So she's telling me about everything. She's like, great, this and that. And, telling me the starting pay, which is really good. Really good pay, y'all. And everything about this, y'all, is like totes. Pay is really good, and the schedule is really good for me. It's only 3 days a week, but with the pay, it evens out. It's perfect. Everything is so ideal, because what this means is I have my weekends free because I don't have to work on the weekends, and that means I don't have to worry about it interfering with my Shabbat, which is Friday evening to Saturday evening, so I don't have to feel uncomfortable or nothing. And basically what my position is, which I already know, it's like, it's laid back. Like the job itself and everything around it and in it is like, it's kind of hard to explain unless you've been there, but yo, it's an ideal job for me, y'all. Like this is like my what I consider an ideal. There's not a lot of it's not like a lot of lifting and like it's not nothing like that. I'm basically going to be supervising people, and it's kind of like laid back. I mean, I'm doing real work, but it's not like every warehouse is different in their own way. I'm going to be supervising people doing things. So I have a list of things that need to be placed on these pallets, and I need to make sure that it's done that way. And I have people that are going to be doing this. And so I need to make sure that things are being done the right way and stuff like that. It's really simple work. And I'm just like, yo. So she verbally gave me the job offer. And so I basically am going to be starting on the 19th. And, she's gonna, she's basically gonna email me my formal offer letter for me to, formally to accept, and then all of that kind of stuff, and then everything that's going to be moving forward from that point on. And so I was just like ecstatic, y'all. Like this was like out of all of the job places I went to for interviews, like the pallet place last week that didn't accept me, which is cool. It's in the same place, but a little bit further away, further down. That would have been a little bit more, more like warehouse work. It's a big place, but I would have to be building something, so there would have been some more physical, physical parts to that job, lifting a pallet and, all that kind of stuff. So not to say I couldn't do it, but I'm saying there's more physicality involved with that one. But and then the one that I went to today, it was just kind of over my head. I would have been in over my head with that kind of stuff, because it's, even though it's warehouse work, it's more admin type warehouse work. I would need to be calling clients or companies to verify information, payment information. So I would have to go through and, so it's a lot of stuff that I don't have a lot or full experience in, like I haven't, and it's only because I haven't needed to know this stuff. Like every warehouse is different. Like not every warehouse you need to use, a forklift. Not every warehouse you have to, wear steel toe boots or boots, period. So, I'm not, an idiot, I mean, it's just some warehouse work that I've done hasn't required certain types of work and stuff like that. Like a lot of computer work, like, so therefore what they were looking for, I would not have been able to do, even though I think to some degree they would have trained me, but a lot of that stuff would have just not worked out. So I think that I would have been setting myself up for failure for that one. So I think, with everything that has been going on, and I actually prayed for this job. Like I really wanted this particular job for a lot of reasons. The environment's better. Everything about it is better. The people that work there, it's not a lot of, there's no negativity there like that. People just complain and come into work complaining, and it's not a stressful type job. It's not a high stress level type job. And the hours are actually pretty decent, so I'm just like, yo, what I'm saying? Like this is perfect. So yeah, so that seemed like it'll work out. Now here's the thing, I just thought about this, that the bike that I got, so I did I had to do some tweaks to my bike, and I'm doing some final tweaks probably tomorrow. So when I got home today, I pumped up the tires. I'm gonna put some more air in them because they're a little flat, not too much, but I want them to be a little bit more solid, at least the back one, if nothing else. But that bike, y'all, is off the chain. It's so comfortable. It's just night and day. It's night and day from my mountain bike that I had. It's just completely different. The wheels are bigger. They roll and move smoothly, and the handlebars are just long. They're really comfortable. The seat very comfortable. My seating position is more upright because the handlebars are upright or high. They're BMX style and all that, as opposed to flat bending over on the mountain bike and everything. It's very light too, y'all. It is so light compared to that mountain bike. But it's so dope. So I went ahead and I was going through tightening everything up, tighten my pedals, and tighten went around and I tightened everything on that bike, and made sure I tightened up my handlebars, not the handlebars, but I forgot that's the neck or whatever. Those bolts were kind of loose, and I'm up there riding it, and I'm noticing that they're turned. I'm like, oh snap, I forgot to turn. So I took it back in, I straightened them up and tightened those up a little bit, and did the same thing with my seat. And so I'm actually going to return my pump, because my roommate explained to me that I can actually, well, he has one, and then there's a place that's kind of close by up the road from where we at that actually has a spot where we can, air our tires up for free. So that's dope. So I'll be utilizing that. And then the last thing I need to do is I need to tighten my chain on my bike. So I'm gonna be getting that done, getting information on how to do that, and then I am going to need to order some chain lube from off of Amazon, and then I'll also need to see about buying the alarm and the locks for my bike. So that's coming down the line. I may have that by the time I start my job, but if not, my first paycheck I'll get that. And then basically, so what I was thinking is the time that I need to go to work, it's early hours, and that's a key. That's very important for one main reason, because early in the morning there's not a lot of people outside, and so less people outside or on the buses mean it's it's a little bit safer for me to take my bike or ride my bike to work in the mornings. Now during the daytime and all that, it's a little bit more risky and stuff like that. So because I definitely want to be able to ride my bike to work and stuff like that, because I just do. It's not a big thing to not, but I think it'd be easier for me to avoid. I get a little bit more rest. I wouldn't have to wake up as early because I can miss a complete bus by not doing that. By riding my bike to work in the mornings, because the bus that runs in this area where I stay, it starts very early, which means I would have to wake up early to get that bus just to connect to another bus. And so when I went out to my interview first time, I took my old bike and I did that same thing. And so I'm gonna do that same thing now that I know where the bus stop is. And so boom, I could just skip having to wake up that early to catch that bus just to connect to another bus, and I can just ride my bike past all of that and then connect to that second bus and then head downtown, boom, and then connect on the last bus downtown. So that's basically going to be my plan and everything like that. And then of course, coming back from work, it's not going to be a big deal. I have options on that one as well, and my option on that is taking routes that are less. I think on my way back it's easier because I don't have a time frame. I have to be back home. So there is an express bus that I can take from downtown, and then the bus that I would take from my job to get to downtown, it's not like a lot of people that it's kind of hard to explain, but basically I'm just letting you know that I know good routes for me to be able to not, have to worry so much about my bike. And then of course I would have the alarm on it, and it's going to be insured. So before I even do anything like that, I'm gonna make sure I have all of that stuff taken care of first. And so I got a plan, and I'm going to be executing that. So basically, y'all, you know, I prayed, and I had patience, and I believed, but in the meantime, like, this is what I was trying to explain to you guys all this whole time with all of these different videos that I've been making, my start videos and all the way through. I was letting you guys know and see how I was talking, the way I was looking, my attitude, my demeanor, everything. And I'm trying to lead by example, so to help you guys out there that may be in that same situation as me. But I was showing y'all confidence. I was showing y'all, look, you don't have to do things the way that society tells you to do things. If you have confidence and you apply yourself daily and you treat it real seriously, you treat every day when you're not working like you have a job, not sleeping in long hours, but getting up, doing things, being productive, staying relevant, filling out applications, all that kind of stuff. So you got to do that. And if you do that, positive results will happen. But I've been doing a lot of extra stuff that I feel works for me. And but being patient is very key, because I understand that your mind starts to dwell, time frames may come about, and you start thinking and you start worrying and being concerned. That is something that weighs you down, and you don't want to do that. You have to just stay even and calm and be patient. And if you believe in the higher power like I do, it's even a bonus, But sometimes you have to change some things up in your life to allow some things to happen. You have to close negative doors and allow positive ones to open up. Like I was explaining to y'all about me stopping smoking, because that could very well hinder me. That could be very well something that may stop me from being able to get something and all that. So, as long as you have the Most High on your side, y'all, you're always gonna have good things happen. And of course, I have strong backing of my family, who are, that are prayer warriors, and so they help me out as well. Talking to one of my aunties, she's always giving me positive, encouragement and stuff like that. So I stay around and rooted, with people that are positive, that are there to help me and to boost my confidence, and to always remind me to just stay even. Don't worry about anything. Something's gonna happen. So as long as I'm keep getting all of that, and I'm hearing that constantly, it's keeping my focus in the right lane and stuff like that. And so, you guys that have been watching my videos from the very first one and all through, you guys have seen this journey. You guys have seen and heard the things that I have been doing, because I have been relaying that information to y'all. 3 different jobs already, and so, I'm just trying to help y'all and give you guys encouragement, because my channel and my journeys are, sometimes, there are detours. If you're driving somewhere, you have a destination to get to. So sometimes you can't foresee certain things. There may be this route that you wanted to take. You may not be able to go that, maybe continue on, because there's a road closure. So you got to do a detour. So things happen in life to where, you might have a plan and you may want to be, going straight, but sometimes something might hinder your plans. Now, how you rebound is going to determine, how soon that you're going to get to your destination. And if you guys have been noticing in all my videos, I have been always focused, and I've always been letting y'all know that, look, it's going to happen. It's just, I got to get back focused. I have to do this. I've always been giving you guys positive and, information, no matter what happens to me, negatively or whatever. You know, things happen for a reason. Things don't happen for a reason sometimes. So it's not necessarily negative, but you're getting tested, and you have to show how you handle those situations, overcoming adversities. You know, um, so as a result, good things happened for me, and you know, this was definitely something very ideal for me. And I'm very, very happy about this because now this allows me to get right back on track, and I can focus on what I need to do, and I can get back on, you know, figuring out, okay, so now when am I gonna leave? You know, I can get back on that now, like focusing on that. So it's really, I'm really happy that things worked out, and I really wanted to bring this to you guys. And so I'm doing something different with my videos, as you guys probably have noticed. And it's just because of how late my one bike video turned out to be. So, and I didn't expect things to happen the way they happened with when I got my bike. And so I kind of just was going with the flow of everything. And that's why I had two videos in the same day. One was a little shorter because I had to cut I had to stop the video. I wasn't planning on starting another one, but I didn't want to just give you guys that one long video without, because I think it kind of cut off too soon, and I needed to give you guys all of it. So that's why there was a long video, then there was a short video to follow that, part 1, part 2, and then I wasn't really prepared fully to do that video because I was going to do it here, and then I ended up doing it downstairs. So that really kind of threw me off, and so therefore the angles were not the right, you know, the best angles. A lot of noise in the background, so it wasn't supposed to be that way, but I still wanted to give you guys that video. And I don't know exactly how bad it was. I did view a little bit of it, and it kind of sucked because I didn't have my camera focused at the right angle. You guys weren't able to see me a lot. I wasn't able to show the bike as I was putting it together, so that kind of sucks. I do plan on making a final conclusion to that video, most likely tomorrow during the day, and that's once I get everything finally set up, chain and everything. I'll do a demonstration of the bike. I'll show y'all the bike, the video, probably with me on it as well. So that's coming tomorrow. So that'll be a cool video. But yeah, so anyways, that's really all I have for today, y'all. It's really been a great day for me. Tons of blessings that I had, and it was really good. It was really good. So I'm gonna be in the process of, you know, I'm actually in the process of strengthening up my knee, doing my knee exercises. I have my knee brace that I'm also using. So I'm really wanting to get on my skateboard. I got a couple of subscribers, or at least one subscriber that, I have a couple subscribers that were messaging me about getting into skateboarding, or they just started skateboarding and stuff like that. So I definitely want to make some videos at some point of just showing y'all how, you know, me being on a skateboard at almost the age of 50 after not even riding a skateboard for about 3 years, which is for me a long time. So I'm confident, you know, enough to be on my skateboard and to do some tricks. Now I won't probably be doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff right out the gate, but you know, as long as I can give some encouraging videos, maybe do some how-tos on some basic stuff, that's something that I want to do. And it's just going to be an encouraging, because, you know, us older people, you know, we see these young cats, you know, doing stuff, and, you know, maybe we think that we can't do it, you know, but I'm here to tell you guys that if I can do it, you can do it, you know. And don't be afraid to fall. Don't be afraid, you know, to mess up. That's all a part of learning skateboarding. Skateboarding is not always easy. It may seem easy. Certain things come easier than others. But it's just a dedication. It's an art. It's a craft. And like with anything, you might, you know, start off slow, but You know, if you be smart, you know, and just, you know, don't be afraid to, you know, to mess up, you know, because messing up is part of learning. You know, the more you mess up, you figure things out, and then you get it. You know, skateboarders, you know, yeah, you get banged up. It's literally a part of, you know, the it comes with the territory. You know, and even at an older age, you know, don't be afraid, you know, to fall and, you know, and you know, and injure yourself. You know, it happens. It just does. You know what I'm saying? And so once you get over that hurdle of fear, it's just fun. You know, but there's a lot of aspects of skateboarding. You know, there's a lot of stuff that you guys can do that's not so daring. You ain't got to do no stair sets, or, you know, if you're not comfortable with ledges, you know, there's flat ground stuff. You can do like some simple things like grinds, you know, flip tricks, you know, whatever. But I can show you all that. I could put you guys up on some stuff like that, show you guys some good techniques, and let you guys know about some techniques that are not so fly. But anyways, that's all I have for now for y'all. But anyways, I pray and hope that you guys enjoyed my video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please go ahead and hit that get that thumbs up, the like button, hit the notification bell so that you guys can be informed whenever I am dropping my videos. Also, if you guys are new to my channel and you guys haven't yet subscribe to my channel, because I'm heating up, y'all. I'm going to be dropping more good videos as these days and weeks come. And of course, feel free to conversate with me. If y'all have anything y'all want to tell me, if you guys have anything that you guys want to see in my videos or anything, feel free to drop me a comment. I like engaging with my subscribers. You guys are really cool. The guys that I've been talking to the past couple of days, really cool conversations and stuff like that. So y'all help me out by you know, engaging with me and stuff like that. So it's really really appreciate y'all. So with that being said, y'all, I'm Real King, and yo, this is it. Y'all have a good evening.